The challenge to boot Tennessee State Representative Justin Jones off the ballot for House District 52 was dismissed. The Davidson County Election Commission rejected a qualifying challenge from his Republican opponent, Laura Nelson.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
So we have the motion carries 4-1.
The truth prevailed.
3-1. One nay, one abstention.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Unless the commissioners object, I call for the 5-minute recess. Thank you.
The truth is powerful and it prevails. The truth is powerful and it prevails. I mean, this was just such a mockery of democracy, but the truth prevailed. You know, this challenge was frivolous. It was rooted in trying to delegitimize our democracy, but we saw that the witnesses came, that we brought the people, and all they had was you know, fake evidence, you know, trying to meticulously deconstruct people's signatures, and it wasn't rooted in reality. But you see all the people here who stood for truth and who stood for democracy, and so my hope is that we continue to push. You know, they've expelled me, they've tried to silence me, they've censured me, they've tried to get me to resign, they try to kick me off the ballot, but we have won each and every time because the power of the people can't stop. And this shows that we're effective, that if we were not effective as a movement, they would not be trying so hard to stop us. They would not be trying so hard. You know, people like this reporter would not be pushing out these false narratives, but would root it in the truth and would get all the facts to look at what is happening. And so we must ask people like Stephen Elliott, we must ask people like some of these folks here who published falsehoods and did not get up the whole story. You know, what actually happened and why were people being challenged who legitimately signed this and their only evidence was quickies.com. There was nothing based off of reality. But, you know, today the truth prevailed and it shows that these attempts to silence our democracy are not going to work, but the people will rise up each and every time to hold them accountable, to speak truth to power, to bring the evidence and the facts, and it will prevail. So.
Nelson unsuccessfully challenged Jones in last year's special election. She argued Jones missed an evidence deadline, claiming her campaign did not have time to review and submit supplemental evidence. I'm going to go to my panel on this. We're going to start with Teresa Lundy. So, Teresa, what do you make of this challenge here? And looking at an article from the Tennessean that came out on May 2nd talking about this, it says Laura Nelson last month challenged nearly half of Justin Jones' qualifying signatures, submitting to the commission a string of alleged inconsistencies, including mismatched handwriting styles and uncrossed letter T's and a misspelled name and the name of a city street, which was changed last year. What do you make of all of this?
Well, it's always interesting when elected officials become CSI agents and are now doing handwriting samples. But that's also what you're supposed to produce in court. Pennsylvania, we have a very long string of challenges for those who want to run for public office. But what you have to do is provide evidence. And the evidence wasn't proven. It definitely did. The campaign tried it. Like every campaign, if they don't want to put up or if they do not have the funds to raise, they will absolutely put up a challenge. I have seen it more than one time. If it's not for residency, it's for handwriting, it's for signatures. But you got to go into court with a solid base, a solid foundation of facts. And if you don't, then this is what happens. You now have to run a real race, and you've now taken the time that you could have been doing to campaign to focus on, these insolent these miscellaneous signatures. So it's unfortunate, but I'm glad now we can kind of see the campaign go the mile essentially. So.
Absolutely. And speaking to your point on evidence, and I'm coming to you here in just a minute, Cameron, it says on Thursday, Laura Nelson dropped most of her challenges to target 3 names. Nelson did not provide any expert witness testimony beyond pointing out perceived inconsistencies in handwriting and signature styles. So, Cameron, you're involved in both hip hop and politics, and you're a former White House senior advisor. So, talk about this effort to get Justin Jones thrown off of the ballot, and keep in mind, Tennessee has a supermajority in their state legislature, both the House and the Senate. So talk about this effort and why it's so important for him to be on the ballot.
Man, I think it just really girds them that Justin is getting so much publicity. He's really like speaking for the people. I'm sorry, he and his colleague there in Tennessee. I wasn't alive to witness this, but this feels like the modern day Jim Crow literacy tests and yes. Anything they can do to kind of make sure they either take us off the ballot or make it harder for people to vote and kick them off the rolls. Like, just to really, I commend this brother. I commend him for kind of really staying strong and providing the evidence, the necessary evidence needed. When you start talking about they're challenging because somebody crossed their T wrong or the name of the street changed in the last year. And then you can see how frivolous this was if they went from challenging almost half his signatures to get down to just 3. So I think it just really, this is something, and unfortunately a fight they may have to keep fighting in future elections. But I'm glad he prevailed, and I'm glad it shows that sometimes the truth does come out.
Well, this is a fight that's been happening since at least 1870, even going back before that, 1868, the Opelousas Massacre in 1868, where African Americans were killed for trying to vote. So this is a continuous fight.
Fanbase is pioneering a new era of social media for the creator economy. This next generation social media app with over 600,000 users is raising $17 million, and now is your chance to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.